Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia, and as you can see, I have early access to Dynasty Warriors Origins, and thanks to Kyo, I'm able to show off everything the game has to offer a few days early. Now for those of you who have already decided that you're going to pick up the game and can't wait to play it yourself, consider this your spoiler warning, as I will be playing a full Let's Play of the game, and key plot elements will be shown in these videos. For everyone else, whether you're here to check out the full game before considering making the purchase yourself, or you're simply here to watch me review and play the game, please enjoy, as while I was quite skeptical about this spin-off attempt by Dynasty Warriors, the demo really got me excited about the new direction for the franchise. And before we hop into the single-player campaign, I want to first briefly introduce the game and myself for those who are unfamiliar. And using their digital art book, we can see that Dynasty Warriors Origins take a lot from previous Dynasty Warrior installments in terms of characters, design, and setting. But a lot has changed. For the first time, we're playing as a preset main character who has a mysterious background that we will discover upon completing our first playthrough of the game. The roster of unique characters from the Three Kingdoms period has also shrunk compared to past installments, mainly because this game only has 5 major acts that starts with the Yellow Turban Rebellion and ends with the Battle of Sherbet. And instead of playing as these characters ourselves, only a select few, 9 to be exact, can be selected as battle companions for our preset main character. And when certain conditions are met on the battlefield, we can temporarily swap into these companions for a short period of time during the battle. However, the movesets for all characters in the game can be experienced by the player through collecting and using different weapons in battle with your main character, and this is a huge departure from previous titles, but this change now allows for a much more narrative story element for the campaign that was previously never possible, and we'll see this right away with the increased number of cutscenes, character dialogues, and relationship developments throughout this Let's Play. Fighting mechanics has also been greatly overhauled, as while Origins is still a Musou game at heart, the combat system is much more advanced compared to past titles, with the introduction of battle arts or special movesets, parries, blocks, and even squad commands that allow you to control the troops directly in battle. Overall, it's going to be quite the learning curve for returning players to the franchise, but I see it as a welcoming change to move the franchise from just a simple hack and slash to one with some skill expression. Anyways, that's long enough of a verbal review for now as we hop into a new game. And once again, this is going to be my final spoiler warning for those who want to experience the game for the first time themselves, but definitely come back in the future to revisit this Let's Play because I will be making a ton of historical references and corrections throughout the gameplay, as I'm somewhat of an expert on this historical time period.
Promise me. Promise me. That together, the three of us will bring about a new age of peace.
Hey, are you okay? Drink this.
Father, are you...
What a miserable place.
Please, allow us to have some...
Have mercy on us!
Think of the children.
Move! You're pathetic. Shall I put you out of your misery?
Wait. Huh? What you carry is a gift from the Emperor to starving people. What justification could you possibly have for ignoring their plight?
Such insolence! How dare you speak to me like that?
This merchant has confessed everything. You had him purchase goods from corrupt scholars and sell them for you in the city. In exchange, he offered you bribes and business favors.
Scoundrels!
Don't you know how hungry we are?
Silence! Stay back!
Don't worry.
Son, wait! No closer! Huh? You!
I don't know who you are, but you have my thanks.
Call for reinforcements!
Sir!
Even more are coming?
More soldiers are coming! Hey, you two. This way. We won't be putting the townspeople at risk here. You can fight without restraint. There is still much I must do, but I swear that I will get you out of here.
I don't know if he's trustworthy. But either way, we'll have to cut our way through.
Alrighty, so I didn't want to talk during the cutscenes, but we're basically in tutorial. We'll get to learn all the new combat controls, which is pretty vital to the new title because of the revamp to the combat system. Now, I do want to make some comment about the cutscene, as we'll explore a little bit before following Guanyu. He'll wait for us. Yes, the bearded man is Guanyu, or at least a young version of him, and the long-haired man is Zhang Jiao, the leader of the Yellow Turban Rebellion, as we can tell by his yellow clothing. Very fancy clothing too, to have sort of the even matched shirts instead of having the robe kind of crossed over. But regardless, we're in Guanghe, 6th year of Guanghe. Guanghe is a calendar name. So obviously China didn't use the AD BC system, so 183 is how we refer to it now, but back then emperors would give names to their reign, 2 character names. And Guanghe was the 3rd calendar that Emperor Liu Bei used. And we're in the 6th year of Guanghe, which is when the Yellow Turban Rebellion would start. After it ended,
Fight your way through.
we're just going to be killing a lot of mobs here with our normal attack. We'll take a little bit of damage and whatnot. We can also try the traditional, light to heavy combo that we have here. But there's a lot of other moveset in addition to that, and we'll get to learn all of them as we play through this tutorial. But essentially, there was a lot of incremental weather in the years leading up to the Yellow Turban Rebellion, mostly attributed to climate change, actually. Looking at some of the more recent studies of the period, Earth underwent a lot of volcanic activities during the late Han that attributed to a temperature drop, 1 to 2 degrees Celsius,
We must break through the guard post up ahead.
contributed to both a
As long
decline
as we get past the post, we'll be
of
beyond
the
their
Han
jurisdiction.
Dynasty in China,
and
as
out of
well
their
as the
reach.
Roman Empire in Europe as well. Basically, bad harvests, famine, disease, and also nomadic moving down south to warmer weather, creating issues for empires across the world. Alright, now there's blocking, which if we... There we go, that's a block. We'll let someone hit us. It's timed. There we go. And then the moveset is actually you can just hit block and heavy, which you don't even actually have to make a
Attacks
block,
with
but you
great
basically
skill.
get a special moveset.
Defense is the key when outnumbered.
And that's just some of the
You seem
changes.
to know that well. It looks like the enemy is gone. Let us proceed toward the guard post.
And while famine was a big issue and plagues, displaced population, tax increases wasn't really an issue. I think the game is trying to frame it as sort of a tax increase situation. Well, that's a lot of troops. Alright, there's also evade, which is actually how I like to avoid some of the action. Maybe we can use a directional evade plus a heavy, and then we get different move sets.
The way you shift between defense
Actually, it's the
and
same move,
offense
just
appears
directional
so
evade and then...
effortless. I see that as your strength as a warrior.
These are just basic controls. We're not even at battle arts
This
yet.
has bought us some time. The guard post is close. Let us go.
It'll take a while for me and everyone to get used to these new controls. Guangyang's gonna wait for you. You'll follow us, right? Yeah. Now, just because tax wasn't increased doesn't mean
So,
people live better.
that is the guard post.
Because tax rate during the Han Dynasty was never that high.
But there are no guards.
Usually around 3%
This must be...
of your harvest.
You're out of luck. This is where you scoundrels meet your end.
That's a lot of troops under his command.
So, they've cut us off. We may be outnumbered, but we must not falter.
We must rise!
That voice.
I ask you this. Do you choose to continue being exploited until you die?
No!
Then tell me. Do you have the courage to take back what was stolen?
Yes!
Then let us all advance and witness a new era of peace. We are righteous. Have no
This is a
fear.
huge improvement with the new direction the franchise is going. We're getting a lot more cinematic moments like this.
Shoot and take them out!
Are those allies? Then this is our chance. Now!
Now we're learning the combos.
An opening.
This is still not battle arts.
Apologies for taking so long.
An opening.
All of these troops? Who are you?
I said that I would get you out. Why not? But we had best do something about this first.
No mercy for anyone who defies us. Cut them all down!
The troops actually can coordinate attacks if the morale is high enough, and it can actually get quite annoying. And we have enough for a Musu.
Your skills are impressive. No evil may withstand such a righteous blade.
We could use a bun or two.
We cannot allow ourselves to be pushed back here. Let me handle this for now.
We get to see character
Leave it to
swaps. I'm assuming. Yep. And now we get to try out different battle arts, which are special movesets I talked about earlier. And Guangyang essentially is one of the 9 possible companions that we could get. And when conditions are met, you can swap into them for a short amount of time. And since Guangyang uses a polearm weapon, a glaive, or guandao as we like to call it, his movesets, even for the standard attacks, are going to combo differently than the sword that we were using. And you can basically experience your favorite character's moveset just by swapping out the weapon that you are
Those who
equipped
lack
with.
courage, be gone.
And there are 9 main categories of weapon. Alright, now we're gonna try the ultimate one. Which kills 900 people. And we're
Good.
back.
The enemy has
We
lost
used up-
their momentum.
Guangyang's companion time.
You wretched scum! I will cut you down myself!
Finally. Their leader. Let us bring him down. Soldiers should disperse once they lose their commander.
There we go! There we go!
Ooh, nice. We blocked. Okay, I gotta parry more.
There we go! There we go! Take this! There we go!
Looking rough.
The little bars on top of him, I believe, are called Fortitude, which sort of is his like little shield. You can break them as you hit them, and once they're all shattered, you can execute them with a heavy attack. If we had battle arts,
Do not think your
we should be able to use
disobedience
battle
will
arts
go
to counter some of his
unnoticed.
moves.
You will come to regret your
But
actions.
for this part of the tutorial, I think we just have our
I
regular
have
attacks.
deep respect for your valor.
Ah,
Now,
Zhang Jiao
go
with his
on.
staff.
Leave the rest to us. I expect we will meet again someday.
It's a weird design choice.
Farewell
They
for
went
now.
with like the more Buddhist-looking
Not one for
staff.
explanations, then? Well, let us head somewhere we can rest.
Guess that was the first battle. Not the first stage, but I think just sort of a tutorial introduction to the storyline and some basic controls.
You know, I didn't have the chance to thank you.
Oh, we are supposed to have dialogue. Okay.
I am very grateful for your help. Though it was rude of me to accept it without even asking your name. Tell me, what are you called?
Ah, we get to pick a name because the character doesn't remember. I guess we can just settle with Wonder. I'm not really into customization at this point, and we'll get to learn exactly who he is as we play out the campaign.
I take it you are a warrior traveling the land like myself. From where do you hail? That is quite intriguing. You fought with such effortless skill. I've never seen anything like it. I'm curious to know where you trained. So you have no memory of your past? Now I see why you cannot tell me where you are from. In any case, it was fortunate I met you when I did. Most wandering warriors won't lift a finger until they hear talk of compensation. But you are not like the others. I see you walk an honorable path, wielding your blade for the weak.
I mean, these choices, they're not really that different from what I can see.
By your parents, or a teacher, perhaps. Or maybe an old friend. Whoever it was has taught you well. Are you aware that there have been many similar happenings of late? Soldiers and officials alike oppress the people for personal gain, and the people must turn to thievery for food. All the while, an endless rain has rotted the wheat, and the winds have brought sickness. Countless lives have been lost.
Interesting take. I think mostly it was a drought, not a endless rain, but regardless, also wheat wasn't really in China at the time. We're talking about barley for the most part.
Perhaps this is heaven's way of lamenting the state of the land.
That is how people think, right? If you believe your emperor's representation of the mandate of heaven being mandated by heaven itself, then whatever goes wrong, whether it's drought, famine, plague, even a solar eclipse, that's something wrong with the emperor. He's done something wrong and he needs to fix it, whether that's in the form of praying to the heavens, fasting, correcting one's actions, firing someone at court, switching government officials. That needs to be done.
Yes, men are powerless at the feet of the divine. But even so, someone must act. That is what I believe.
I mean, from Guanyu's statement, I'm surprised they don't have him joining the Yellow Turban Rebellion here.
I am sure you have also heard rumors about the Way of the Great Peace.
Another name for the organization that represented the Yellow Turbans, Taiping Dao, the Way of the Great Peace, was what preached by Zhang Jiao and his two brothers. They've been preaching this teaching for more than a decade by this point. It wasn't sort of a spur-of-the-moment rebellion against the conditions that had worsened in the few years leading up to when the rebellion started, but they actually been kind of spreading their religion, sect of Taoism, for decades now. Yeah, I think they started in the early reigns of Emperor Liu Hong, so we're talking about 170-ish.
They are a cult that follows a great sage called Zhang Jiao. Recently, I've been hearing their ranks are growing rapidly.
I think cult is a good way to put it. They believe their leader Zhang Jiao is a great healer, and one of the lore or allure of Taoism is the search for eternal life. And they believe that he can provide sort of these magical holy waters by burning sort of these paper scrolls of spells they write. And once you burn the spell and the dust from the paper falls into these water, and if you drink the water and you believe hard enough, it can cure you of any disease. And thus Zhang Jiao is kind of spreading his faith as the great healer.
Their promises of a brighter future must be drawing in the powerless masses.
Hundreds of thousands believe it by this point. It was a very successful, cult for the period. He had his 8 disciples spread out in the multiple provinces for decades, and they gathered him 36 divisions of believers. He was well organized. It was a very organized cult, and the purpose was to have a rebellion. I think it was a very politically motivated cult. Not really to improve the life of the people per se, but definitely try to put Zhang Jiao as a potential future emperor. It wasn't quite so pure, and their methods, once they rebelled, was also very cruel. They basically burned down everything. They looted. They stole from the people that they were trying to improve their life, trying to have success with their rebellion.
I've spoken too much. It has already grown late.
A country that has long been divided will reunite. One that has long been united will become divided. Long ago, the Han Dynasty was founded by Emperor Gaozu and re-established by Emperor Guangwu. And yet, heaven's will is now clear. The coming age will inevitably be one of great chaos. That is why you must bring peace to the world. The guiding light already lies within you. Rise now, guardian of peace, and take flight.
Pretty sick intro. We got a little glimpse of all three factions, which you can choose to join after, I think, the third
In the second month of the
stage.
Guanghe era's 7th year, a major upheaval began. By extending a hand to suffering peasants, the way of the Great Peace gained immense support. Zhang Jiao, the movement's founder, declared a rebellion against the Han Dynasty. In aid of the provinces, countless adherents of the way of the Great Peace rose in revolt. To demonstrate their unity, they clad themselves in yellow and referred to themselves as the Yellow Turbans. This would later be called the Yellow Turban Rebellion. And so, the era was set on the path toward great turmoil. Chapter 1. The Yellow Turbans Rebellion turns to a reign of terror. Heroes rise in the midst of turmoil.
Alrighty. In between missions, you do get to walk around the map, the actual physical map of China that they have created for the game, and to interact with different side missions, characters that you might find on the map. And we're in the D province, which means we're in the north. They enlarged the rivers and lakes so you can actually kind of feel their physical weight, but it's greatly exaggerated for the most part. And we come across our first little mission. I don't know if we can actually ignore these and walk around. I guess we can, right? We can kind of walk around and check out different points. You can see there are different checkpoints that are currently blocked on the minimap. And are those little resources that we can grab? The little glittering, I'm assuming it's going to be copper. We'll go back to that mission. Little city models. And waypoints or waymarks for the Yo province. Okay. I'm guessing this is fast travel points. This is the map they have for the game. We started in the Ji province, Yo province in the north. So I'm guessing this would be the Bin province. Qing province, Yan province, Xu province. I guess this would be the Yu province a little bit here. Jin province down here. This would be Luoyang. This will be Chang'an area. Liang province. I guess the mountains here represent Qingling. This little piece probably Hanzhong, going down to the Yi province. And then this would be the Yang province, which is basically Wu over here. You can see the rivers are greatly enlarged to make their point of being a natural barrier. And we can see whatever missions we have. Let's see, equipments. We start with our long swords. Like I mentioned, there are at most 9 different categories of weapons, and also sub-weapon differences with different stats, different boosts. And there's going to be different types of swords. But there's also like polearms, staffs, fist weapons, and so forth. That'll make up 9 different categories. And you can gain proficiency with each by using them. And they will unlock more battle arts for that type of weapon. So like most Dynasty Warrior game, there's reasons to grind and replay to get better at your favorite type of weapons, or to try to farm and collect more rare versions of the weapon you prefer on the battlefield. Also a few accessories. We have a little sash here. In addition to allowing you to instantly travel to waymarks, the map also displays objective cities and officer locations. Toggle of mission give you access to more precise location. Let's try that. Or it's not giving us much. Maybe we haven't unlocked enough to do that. But yeah, another gate pass to block our way. Yozhou. I mean, I don't know if the storyline is going to bring us about Gongsun Zan's story. Perhaps if we do follow Liu Bei's story path, we will get there. Let's go talk to the village elder.
A traveler, huh? There's nothing left here anymore. Everything has been overrun by the yellow turbans. It's even more horrifying when you consider that those yellow turbans were once fellow citizens. What sad, cruel times these are.
I mean, there's only going to be so much resources. If you recruit the most poor and most desolate, and you give them a weapon, they're going to take from, you know, those who have it.
Are you looking for an inn for travelers? If so, you should head to the city of Ji.
Okay, the city in the north that we saw is probably the city of Ji. Not the same character as the Ji province, right? There's a Ji province, there's also a Ji city. The Ji city is actually in the Yo province, because mostly Chinese characters can share same sounds. Also, the way it's being anglicized with the pinyin system, it doesn't show tones. You usually have a tone over the vowels, and each character can have at least 4 different tones if you're using Mandarin. And in this case, both of these Ji actually have the same tone, but within the same tone, you could have up to, 10 to 20, 30 characters that have that same sound, but from the context of how to write it, how to use it, it would be a different character.
I've heard that area hasn't been ransacked yet, and it seems they're gathering volunteer soldiers, anyone with the will to fight.
Alright, so we're going north. We're going. Can he talk and give some other dialogue? Just curious.
Are you looking for it? I've heard.
Nope. That's it. And I guess that's the city we didn't enter here. So this would be Gongsun sort of base of operations in the future, if this is the case. County Castle Inn. Guangyang Commandery.
Here we are. This is your room. But you're a bold one, if you don't mind me saying, to be traveling in such times. Trouble and strife everywhere, they say. Not to mention all the talk of thieves and bandits hereabouts. Come now, don't be so modest. You are planning to stay here for a while, right? If you're looking to find work as a soldier, why not consider joining the militia force? This is the governor of You's domain. He's always looking for skilled warriors. Why, just yesterday, a volunteer force visited his lordship. But I shouldn't be gossiping about others' affairs.
So they're going with the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the novel version of the story. The governor of the You province in the novel is Liu Yan, and he's got this group of militia reinforcement, or actually volunteers who just recruited themselves, was basically Liu Bei, Guanyu, and Zhang Fei.
That said, I am a businessman, and I like to stay informed. So if you have any questions, just ask.
It should be Liu Yan, but historically not the case.
Ah, that would be Lord Liu Yan, a man of noble birth, related to the Han.
Distant relative to the Emperor, yes.
He was dismayed by the chaos and turmoil, so he's raising an army to defeat the Yellow Turbans. A truly great man.
Well, technically, there were no governors yet at this point. Triggered by the Yellow Turban Rebellion, Liu Yan's the one who suggested to the Emperor that they should install governors in all the provinces so that they can have tighter regional military control. Because the structure of the bureaucracy essentially is you have the emperor in the capital, in Luoyang, and then the land is divided into provinces, and subdivided in the provinces are commanderies, and below the commanderies are counties. And at the commandery level, the administrators of the commandery, often called taishou, right, in Chinese, are the ones who have civil and military control over their land. And then there's mayors on the county side, and these taishous are appointed by the imperial court. But because you sent these guys out to, the regional areas, communications very slow during the period, the imperial court and emperor might not always know what goes on in these commanderies. So what they did is they send out inspectors, and these inspectors, called cishi, are supposed to serve as the emperor's eye and ears. They go to these provinces, they travel around these commanderies within a province throughout the year, and they will write a report back to the emperor at the end of the year. Well, they'll physically go back with the report and tell the emperor how things are in these commanderies. But while the prefect is a very high level position, also called inspector in some localizations, they don't have any civil and military power in the land they're inspecting, right? They're just the eyes and ears of the emperor. So very loose control. And when you have things go wrong at a commandery level, they have the power to call the other commanderies and administrators to come help them. And these regional administrators will have access to their own garrison troops, and they can come aid the prefect. But the prefect itself doesn't have any actual power when they're doing their inspection. So to fix this and have a tighter control by the central bureaucracy of the imperial court, Liu Yan came up to the emperor and said, let's install governors. So basically a person who's in charge of the province at all time. They stay in the province. There is still going to be an inspector, but the governor has actual power to build his own forces, and with his own military control, he can basically have a tighter grip over the situation and appoint people who the emperor obviously really trusts in these very powerful positions. Liu Yan, being an imperial relative to the emperor, appointed himself as the first governor. He wanted to use this as an excuse to go to a faraway province and kind of live as a mini emperor of sorts, because obviously these governors, they stayed there. They're the highest central authority in that entire province. And he wanted to go to the Jiao province, which is the really southern one, far, far away from imperial control. But then he heard this rumor that those who come from the E province to the west, modern-day Sichuan area, would be, have a chance to become an emperor one day. And then he kind of swapped his assignment and went to the E province. His son, Liu Zhang, will eventually take over, and Liu Bei eventually usurps and takes the E province away from Liu Zhang. And Liu Bei obviously becomes the emperor, fulfilling this prophecy of sorts.
It's a small army of volunteers recruited to fight the Yellow Turbans, who are growing bolder and more unruly by the day. I remember when everyone believed the way of the Great Peace would make the world a better place. Ah, is that so? Well, the day's still young. Once you've unpacked, I suggest you visit the town.
Almost look like the window have glass on them. Should be actually just paper, so much more white and less opaque.
Now, if you will excuse me.
Kind of like the window behind him. Now, eventually glass or seashells that are very thin were used during the Qing Dynasty to make these semi-translucent windows. But that would be, more than 1,000 years after this point. Alright, so the inn will be our base, and letters will arrive from time to time. As you can see, much more narrative, much more story-driven with the new sort of spin-off take on Dynasty Warriors. Brave warrior, join the march. I guess this is the letter from the governor. The Yellow Turbans sow chaos throughout the realm are now descending upon the Yo province. Local government forces are greatly outnumbered by the enemy. For this reason, we must recruit volunteers from among the people. All those with the courage to defend our way of life and maintain peace within the realm must heed this call at once. So, the rebellion started as sort of a reactionary position. They wanted to rebel a couple months later, but they were rushed because they had a traitor amongst their midst. They were planning the rebellion for a long time, and then a man named Zhang Jiao, who was in charge of kind of connecting the rebels with some of the higher position officials in the imperial court, because a lot of local officials, as well as central government officials, became believers of this cult. It was very attractive. A lot of people believed in it. A lot of people thought, they promised a way to heal, a way to extend your life, and so forth. Taoism was very accepted by this time already. And a lot of the wives of these officials became like really fervent believers, which influenced their husband. And they were also bribing a lot of officials to kind of sway them to help the rebellion. So the central government, the emperor, heard about this from this man, Zhang Jiao, who, for reasons unrecorded in history, decided to flip. He went to the government and said, this group who's been bribing your officers, bribing your officials, planning all these, militia troops and all these cult followers are going to rebel on this date. So immediately the central government cracked down on those officials who were part of this bribing scheme, and then sentenced the three brothers, Zhang Jiao, his two younger brothers, Zhang Bao and Zhang Liang, to be arrested. And then in response to this, they rebelled right away. Really rushed and really set them back. They lasted about 6 months. It was a very widespread event. It bursted onto the scene really fast. And once the central government responded with their military, took a couple commanders, but they put them down pretty easily, all things considered. Costed them a lot of money to do so, though. That was the part that really hurt the Han Dynasty. Not necessarily monetary reward, but those who helped were given like low-tier government jobs, which were later taken away. There were too many people who got government jobs for helping put down the rebellion. Like I said, it went down pretty fast, 6 months, and it was done. So there were a lot of people who contributed, and the government ran out of like low-tier positions even, and they start taking them away, which is where the romance story of the eunuch inspector coming to Liu Bei and taking his position away. And then in the novel, it's Zhang Fei who whips that inspector, but historically Liu Bei is the one who actually whips the inspector. And Liu Bei and them basically go on the run after that. 10,000, I guess copper coins is the symbol here. And I guess we're preparing for the next stage. We don't have anything. It's a very fancy inn.
Peaches! Fresh, juicy peaches! Delicious and sweet peaches! You, sir, would you like a peach? Hey, you! If you're not buying, then you're in the way. Now, move along. You, how about it? Would you like a fresh sweet peach? Oh, hey, you! Wait! Whoa! What are you? Watch out!
What's going on?
Thank you. Hey, just give up already. Forgive me. My family haven't eaten in days. And what of it? You're just another refugee who couldn't protect your land. If you don't work, how do you expect to provide for your family? I would work if I could, but...
Shopkeep. Here.
Huh?
This should cover it, I believe. Enough for his whole family.
That's... well... that could buy dozens!
I mean, brother, isn't that a bit much? Is it? I suppose you're right. How about this, then? Consider it in advance. You can work for me to pay it off.
You mean...
Hey, we are part of Liu Bei's army. A force whose sole purpose is to protect the people and bring about peace.
Alright, just before we talk to Liu Bei and the volunteer army, didn't Zhang Fei own the peach garden that they had their oath in? Shouldn't that be his family business, aside from him being a butcher and all? And Liu Bei paying the guy and recruiting him into the militia. That part is a little bit funny if you think about it.
Are you? I knew it was you. I've not seen you since G, but it is good to see you doing well.
Different D here. He's referring to the province, not the city we're in.
Someone you know, brother?
Yes. We fought together in G province. These are my companions. We swore a vow of brotherhood with each other just recently. This is Zhang Fei. And this is Liu Bei, the eldest of us three.
It's good to meet you.
So not only visually Guanyu looks older, right, with the beard, historically Guanyu was also older. And obviously the Oathworn situation was not historical, but they were very, very close. Basically having sworn brotherhood wasn't really that big of a thing in the Han Dynasty. It did become more common practice as time went on. And obviously the author of the novel wrote his book during the end of the Yuan Ming period. So by his time period, Oathworns were a very common thing, and he incorporated it into the book so that his audience can understand how close they were.
I have heard from Guanyu that you were a man of great valor.
I am surprised you remember, brother. I only spoke of him but for a moment at a feast.
That was more than enough. Remembering names and reputations is a skill of mine. as unimpressive as it may be.
I do like how they're portraying Liu Bei as sort of this very savvy young man who's very good at attracting people to work for him.
I quite agree. By the way, we will be fighting against the vanguard of the Yellow Turbans tomorrow, by order of the governor. Would you be interested in joining us?
Hey, what's this about? You don't think we're enough?
So I think in the first 3 stages, we get an opportunity to fight with Liu Bei's group, with Cao Cao's group, and with Sun Jian's group, so that we can decide which group we want to join after the 3rd stage.
No, that's not it.
Then why?
Right from the moment we formed our volunteer army, we have welcomed any tough fighter, no matter who they may be. And from what Guanyu told us, he made the government forces look like incompetent fools. I want to fight with him and see his skills for myself.
And they also made Liu Bei have big earlobes, even though they're not as exaggerated as historical records saying that it touches his shoulder, but still, very extended earlobe, which means to signify you are someone of good fortune. You're going to be very lucky in your life.
Well, if that's your decision, all right. But first, I need to see how strong a warrior he is.
And not to take those descriptions literally, typically in Chinese historical documents, when someone is destined to become emperor, after the fact, they become emperor and get written into history books, usually some sort of physical abnormal, features described, like Liu Bei having really long arms that can reach past his knee, having really long earlobes that, dangles down to his shoulder. Those are things described to signify that he's someone who is mandated by the heavens to one day become emperor and so forth.
So let's put you to the test. If you can beat me, I'll welcome you. Good. At least you're up for a fight. Come on then. Let's go somewhere with enough space.
Maybe the game is going to teach us about dueling, which is sort of this mechanic in the battles that can trigger.
All right, I'll give you something to swing at. Come at me any way you like. So weak, so weak. I can see right through you. I can see right through you. You're not slow, but your strikes are weak. You'll never break my guard like that.
Take that! Zhang Fei, don't get too carried away.
Brother, Zhang Fei knows not to take it too far.
An opening.
Besides, a warrior of his prowess has little need for our concern.
An opening. You're better than I thought. An opening. But it'll take more than that to beat me.
Battle arts. So the right button gives us access to this little wheel here, and you can see we have 3 battle art currently equipped, and they use a resource, the little hexagons we see above our health.
Time to act.
Bravery points. And they accumulate as we do our normal attacks against enemies.
I can see right through you. So weak. So weak. I can see right through you.
Whoa.
And we get to try out a second one.
Bear witness to my power.
Well, not bad. Zhang Fei.
And we can see all the controls with the weapon that we have, right? Sword, have this set of moveset. If we have a polearm, if we have, twin weapons, a fist, the movesets are going to change. If you remember when we had Guanyu temporarily in the tutorial fight, our moveset were like triple light, triple heavy, which are not actual moves here for the sword. And the arts are also going to be very different for each one. There's some shared ones, like Palm Strike, I think is available for everyone. That's like a basic counter move. The SP stands for sort of the special, which means you can counter with them.
That's enough for today, don't you think?
I'm just getting started, brother.
Is he going to actually attack us?
I'll strike first this time.
There we go.
Try not to go down straight
we'll
away.
Try to time our block and time our parries. Failed.
Yep.
Nice. I think this is part of the game that probably most players would have to get used to.
Looking rough.
Guess that doesn't count. It has to be a perfect parry or sort of I can't anticipate it.
Yep.
Whoa.
I mean, we get the job done, but I guess it doesn't really count.
Looking rough.
This is it.
I see it.
Ah, no, it's the block timing. So there,
Alright.
this is sort of
I'm gonna
evade.
hit you even
Parry is
harder
just
this
the
time.
perfect time block.
Don't count on being able
Alright.
to block it.
Evade, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Blow attacks like that, you can't parry, so you have to evade.
Looking rough.
From my experience with the demo,
Yep.
I actually just fall in love with
I'm all
evading.
warmed up now. Go on. Try to take me down. So weak.
Yeah, the special battle art can break
Time to act.
the glowing moves and sort of just knock them into a stun.
What? How dare you attack me like that? I can see right through you.
Guanyu. Zhang Fei is incredible. He looks like he could go on forever.
We're gonna have all the UI prompts. You can see we broke his fortitude, and we're able to use sort of this execution move on him for a good burst, and he
His
just
opponent
gets his fortitude
has great
back.
potential.
We'll just have to see how he turns out. We've made an interesting new acquaintance.
Turn the tables.
That was a parry by having a perfect time block.
Concentrate.
Now you're really starting to fight back. Maybe I should too. You're mine.
Did he just musu us?
Whoa, stop there.
See it.
We've seen enough. This was a test of skill, not a duel to the death.
Oh, I must have gotten a little carried away. You got it, brother. We'll end it here.
Do you see what I meant now, Zhang Fei? His skills are not lacking in the slightest.
Oh, we're still far from getting used to controls, but
Well, that may be so. He's not a total weakling, at least.
Can't you just say he's good, Zhang Fei? Sorry about him. If you would be willing to fight with us, then please, come by the Volunteer Army's tent. You would be most welcome.
I second my brother's request. It would be very heartening to have you on our side. I know you must have conflicted feelings after what happened in G. After all, we'd both have died back then without the Yellow Turban's help. However, we cannot turn a blind eye to them attacking and looting the homes of not only government officials, but even ordinary people. It appears that they no longer fight for justice. That is why I've decided to stop them. It will be my way of repaying my debt. I trust that you are driven by a similar desire.
the Battle of Guangyang, Volunteer Forces versus Yellow Turban. They're the only thing on the map right now. Let's move on. Recommended rank 1, as we are. Ooh, I like the banners. So Liu Bei has the green look, obviously with all Dynasty Warrior games is the green, blue, red. And the Yellow Turbans, 黄天当立,苍天已死. Or 苍天已死,黄天当立, going left to right is the correct way to do it. the Zor heaven is ready dead. The yellow sky shall, get set here. I guess sort of the same thing.
It is good to have you here.
So you're not one to ignore people crying out for help. I respect that.
Welcome to the Volunteer Army. We appreciate you joining us. Shall we start?
Okay. That's the enemy commander. Liu Bei is our commander. So this is the victory and defeat condition for us.
I'd say so.
So we're with Zhang Fei moving in from the east.
Aye.
And there are 4 villages with volunteer soldiers that we can probably recruit along the way and help.
I'm grateful.
So not many officers in this battle. Right, it's us plus the 3 brothers plus the volunteer soldiers. On the Yellow Turban side, we have Cheng Yuanzhi, He Man, who comes on much later. He's sort of one of the remnant groups. Han Zhong, I think he's one of the Yellow Turbans to defend the city of Van. Yan Zheng, Gao Sheng, Xu He, Sun Zhong. Oh, Sun Zhong, Zhao Hong, definitely a Van. Zhang Mancheng was one of the big players. Guess that's why he's in the back. Ma Yuanyi, I think he went to the Yang province to recruit. Bo Cai, Bian Xi, Liao Hua. Yeah, the standard list. Liao Hua being added in here, quite interesting. I think this is sort of his background in romance as Yellow Turban. I wonder if he has an interaction with Liu Bei and them, because he eventually works for Shu Han. But historically, has nothing to do with Yellow Turbans. Just the way he's written in for the novel. Alright, we already seen all the events. Do we have access to more arts? No. Yep, we'll unlock more as we gain proficiency with that particular weapon type. These are the battle arts for swords. And we can kind of see what we do with each one. We kind of already used it in the fight with Zhang Fei. So this is sort of just the frontal slash. And you can see mastery of this by, I guess, using it. Reduce damage taken and prevent staggering while using it. 4 slash before big slash. I mean, it costs different amount of bravery points. This is the one that we'll use the most. And we'll probably master that very quickly as well. I believe there's a way for us to switch weapons in the middle of a fight as we pick them up. We might try that system out, but I'm actually pretty content with just fighting with the sword for now. Get used to one weapon before we sort of diversify here.
Soon it will be time to march.
Why, brother? Are you feeling anxious? Scared even?
Quite the opposite. I'm thrilled that it is finally beginning. We are about to win our first victory, my brothers. I mean, how can we not with such formidable allies?
Well spoken.
If I'm not mistaken, we're the only ally here?
This is the Liu Bei we vowed to follow.
Now, let the heavens witness our might.
All right, let's do this. I better not catch you slacking.
Feel my steel!
Ooh. So just Guangyang literally flexing.
Filthy Han dogs! We shall stop you here!
Here they come.
Are you ready?
I will break you!
Easy.
Now.
Easy.
With all my might!
The enemy officer
Looks
has
like
been
you don't
defeated.
need
me watching out for you.
We don't have access to horses yet. I just tried to summon one.
Damn it! We're gaining momentum. Break
Alright, we
through
got a
their
group
ranks
here.
from behind! Start the advance!
He's marching right into us. We're ready here.
Time to attack!
A better haul than I expected. Take advantage of this while the higher-ups are away. Oh, you bastards! You better not lose any of our spoils. We'll be divvying it all up later.
Don't let them get away! We have to get back what they stole! Can't believe
The enemy officer
Starting to
has
get
been
on
defeated.
my nerves. I'll put them
Alright,
in their
I
place.
think we should actually move on instead of trying to rack up the kills. Just because we need to go save more of the volunteer army.
Pushing back. Bring forward the rear guard. We have to break their will before they gain momentum.
Start the advance!
More are coming towards us. That's fine. Keep Zhang Fei alive here. He's almost dead. Oh, got knocked out by that last bit. Oh, he stole our kill. Or we were going to try to steal his kill, but we didn't get there in time.
Prepare! There we go!
Ooh. We got comboed together by a second officer there. Alright, we got both. I know Musu's filled, but we're going to save that for later. And our proficiency has increased. Let's see. Can we get more detail?
Can't believe this!
896. I guess the experience point, not kills. Ah, we learned a new combo from this. So our normal attack goes from 4-hit combo to up to 6-hit, which is kind of like the old Dynasty Warriors. And then we learn like a 4th charge and a 5th charge once we gain more proficiency. Okay, I see how this works. And then we learn new battle arts, new combos, the 2 charge and 3 charge. Right now we only have the 3 light, 1 heavy as our only charge attack right now. And once we get to this point, we get a broadened attack area for that one as well. So just our regular swings generate a whirlwind? Okay. Magic to generate a shadow of yourself in front of us. Interesting. Okay. This is a battle art, right? This is a 5-cost bravery battle art shadow dance.
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Let's use Musu here, see how much damage we're doing here. Doesn't kill. Oh, my kill. Zhang Fei, calm down. I hit him with a Musu.
Has been defeated.
Pitiful situation.
There we go. Any drops from these? No drops from any of these officers here?
Take this.
Alright, we'll rack up a few kills and then move on. Since there's no one else. Oh, there's actually still one group we have to save.
Give it back, you thieves!
One more volunteer soldier
Don't
there.
get in our way, you Han scum. Some
We're here.
officials stole our
What's tight?
food, so we're stealing yours. Blame them if you want.
Time to attack.
I don't think I stopped it, but I hit him with a palm anyways.
Take this.
He's a fan user. Can we block that?
Take this.
Yes, we can. Okay.
That was quite impressive.
The enemy officer
You lot really
has
saved
been
us
defeated.
out
Oh,
there.
fuck.
Now we can take the fight to them.
The march!
Okay, they're charging now.
Good.
The enemy officer has been
Pushing
defeated.
toward the enemy stronghold. Move forward.
Zhang Fei's moving up. These pauses, you can change them in the option. Right now I have pretty much all the
They're doing a great
beginner
job out there.
related
Come on.
help
Let's push
icons,
on.
you know, pausing when
Victory shall be ours.
there's
Everyone,
a change on the
keep your
battlefield
spirits high.
news. But you can definitely turn all of them out. Okay, they're in a brutal struggle. We're here. We're here.
Prepare yourself.
How about this? So you made it this far. I wanted to ask you to hold the east flank with Zhang Fei.
The enemy officer has been
Liu
defeated.
Bei and Guangyang can't keep up. I can wait for them. No, just keep going.
Take this.
Looking rough.
We end this here.
Time to act.
All right, we do have buns. We can use them. We did.
Take this.
Tables turned. All my might.
Can't believe the enemy officer has been defeated.
They gave Herman a really cool weapon, but still no drops there. I think we do go back to the other side
Take
now.
this.
I don't think we can jump down. Oh, yes, we can. Perfect.
Time to act.
Ah, we're too far away there.
Time to attack.
But not that time.
Take this. Take this.
All my might.
The enemy officer.
I mean, given this is the first fight, definitely not a hard fight.
Miscreants. I've had enough of them.
Forces with high courage excels in both offense and defense. They have more fortitude points. Okay, not a big deal. And soldiers with high courage will perform group attack using tactics. We haven't recruited any troops yet, so we haven't learned how to use squad commands with our troops or tactics. We'll see that, I'm sure, as the stage goes on.
I wasn't expecting this. A strong enemy like that? We have to stay on guard.
The enemy's soldiers are not impressive on their own, but their combined effort must not be underestimated.
Victory is within our grasp.
Take this.
Everyone, keep going.
Can't believe the enemy officer
to rescue all
has been
who are
defeated.
oppressed. The heavens are on our
Let me
side.
go
We must rid the world of these imperial
take on
beasts.
their other
What are you
officers
talking
first
about?
before we kill their
Who
leader.
exactly are you trying to save? Would you call attacking people in their homes saving them? All I
think
hear
that's
is
the only one, right?
of fear.
Has been
I believe so. I believe we got everyone except for the leader. Let's rack up to at least 200 kills. A little bit low for a Dynasty Warrior game to just kill 100 something and win the game. Ooh, he throws his weapon out?
Take this.
I'll just moose through that.
Defend this.
Take this.
He's gonna lose all his fortitude soon. Especially if we counter there.
I don't know whose side the heavens are on,
Then
but
get a nice
I
little
do know
execute
that I will go to the aid
here.
of any who cry out for help.
He's gonna get his
It's
fortitude
as
back.
simple as that.
I'll return that in kind.
Do it.
He evaded.
If you insist on
Back.
getting in our way, then prepare to die.
Time to act.
There's a lot more counters for this game compared to, you know, older Dynasty Warrior, where you might just want to like save a Musu to break out of like a potential combo by the enemy. Alright, now we can execute.
Let's end this.
How could I?
The enemy officer has been defeated.
Now, Guangyang almost killed us there at the end, you know. Going in for the kill shot cuts us through the waist.
We're done here now.
Well done, everyone.
Ah, soldiers feeling tired.
Our first battle was a huge success.
Let's have drinks to celebrate when we get back.
Impressive
Liu
work.
Bei using only one sword.
Thank you once again for joining us.
What happened to the twin weapons? Alright, we got our first sort of mastery point or proficiency point with the sword. And we are now able to extend our normal combo to 6 hits. 630 points till the next proficiency level. We got 1 point of this. I don't know what's used for, but every time you increase your proficiency, you gain a rank level. Oh, so instead of just gaining experience from fighting, we also can gain rank from mastering our weapons? Ah, interesting. So we're going from like being a warrior, like rank 1 warrior, as you can see. We go to knight errant or wuxia, and then we go to 手练 or adept. Okay. Unlock new skill panel, boost your bravery points, like your max bravery you can hold. Unlocks your skill panel, I guess more boosts at the end. Ah, okay. This is not proficiency rank. This is now the one your actual rank level. So maybe instead of like, you know, hard harping on one weapon type, we can get at least 1 point in a bunch of weapons. Like there's 9 weapons, and we can boost our rank that way a little bit faster. Looks like we picked up a longsword with +2 attack. Or maybe that's our current one getting leveled up. I don't know how the weapon system work yet. I don't know. I didn't see any drops physically on the map like old Dynasty Warriors. Maybe you get them post-battle. Or maybe I missed it.
Thank you again, all of you. Today we won a great victory. An auspicious beginning for our volunteer army. I would like to rest. But first, I must report to his lordship, the governor.
Indeed. Duty first, then we'll raise our cups in celebration.
I'll go to the castle. You head back to the road, and I'll catch up with you.
There is no more work to be done. Spend your time as you will. Feel free to return to your inn.
If you have nothing to attend to, come see me later. You'll find me on the road.
Alrighty, winning a battle and quelling the chaos in the area will increase the province's level of peace. Okay. Raising peace to high enough level bring many benefits, which are not explained here, but I guess we'll find out. So the map is subdivided into these provinces, and there's a peace level for each. And as you can see in between missions, you know, and go back to the inn, I believe you wander around the map, especially later on in the game, we have access to more areas on the map. You'll find different characters standing there for you to interact with, maybe some side missions as we mentioned earlier. Just right now at this point, we're not giving many choices here.
Guardian of Peace. It seems there is still light within your jade. That itself is proof that the turmoil across the land has been eliminated. Although it is still very faint at the moment, that light represents the hopes of the people. Hope provides people with the will to live. And with that determination, they can change the world.
So we don't know who this kid is, but he seems to be in our head. And I think he's the narrator even at the very beginning when it says the 3 of us will bring peace to this land.
Eventually, this cycle will guide the realm toward peace. I believe this is also connected to your forgotten past.
Right, this is sort of the story in the background, who we actually are.
That is the very reason why you were entrusted with bringing about an age of peace. In the end, you will even regain your memories of me in this form. It is time for you to go. Your true journey has now begun.
Ah, I didn't know you had returned. Are you okay? You seem a little dazed. I suppose you must be tired. We've just purchased quality incense from an herb seller. Apparently, it will help you get a great night's sleep. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to prattle on. Please, excuse me.
Alrighty, we'll check out a few letters here. Greetings! This is my first letter to you. I'm a volunteer soldier who wishes to remain anonymous, and I was saved by your actions. This feels like, in Dynasty Warrior 8, there was this always one guy pre-camp that you can talk to, and he's like, oh, remember me from this mission? I've been with you this whole time. Kind of gives me that vibes. To be honest, I had thought of you as a distant and drab individual, but now I wish to hit myself for being so hasty in my assessment. I saw you throw the enemy officer who had me cornered right into the air and skip through the battlefield from one end to another, to help my comrade. At that moment, I realized what an incredible officer you will become and how your renown will grow amid these dark times. This is a gift, a small token of gratitude from this unnamed soldier. I hope you'll make use of it. Alright, so what do we get? 500 coins, okay. Not sure where we will be spending that. We did pick up a +2 attack longsword. Alright, simple enough. Grade 1. Definitely not the rarest, but a little bit better than what we had. No other items, and I don't think we unlock any arts yet. We need more proficiency with weapon to get more. The rank system. Very cool. Alright, so I think what we're actually going to do is save the game here. We'll come back and play the second mission next time. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys then. Bye!